Zamfara State Governor secures release of 10 kidnapped victims. Kano to set up Drug Abuse Management Bureau for addict rehabilitation. National Drug Law Enforcement Agency uncovers cocaine heroin inside Anambra Monarch's Palace. On business, NNPC to partner Usman Danfodio University on energy development. On international scene, Governor Aminu Waziri Tambol converses review of ECOWAS protocol on insecurity. On sports, last-minute cancellation of the prestigious youth tournament has hit some countries. Hello, welcome to Svtv News. I am Samira Ibrahim. Zamfara State Governor Bello Muhammad Matawalem Maradin has again secured the release of 10 kidnapped victims without ransom. The victims, who had been in captivity for over 3 months, said they were abducted in Gwaram community of Talata Mafara local government area of the state. Among them are 3 men, including father of one of the abducted Jangebe school girls, 4 women and 3 children. Governor Bello Matawale, represented by Commissioner for Security Affairs Abubakar Dauran, says they were rescued without ransom through the peace initiative of his administration.
Rescued those that were kidnapped at Gwaram in Talata Bafara local government, which among of them is the father of a student of kidnapped victim in Jangebe. Today, by the grace of Almighty, he regained his freedom. Among of them, there was 4 women with their children and 2 other persons. Alhamdulillah, this is part of the dialogue we are making in Zamfara State, because I believe without this dialogue, we cannot rescue these people. While we are in dialogue, if definitely the military will end these atrocities in this state, we are going to revoke it. But if they cannot finish this bandit, we are going to continue with our dialogue, because we have seen the impact of it and we have seen the result, and we are getting better, not like before.
He promises to continue with the peace dialogue, as he says it is paving way for lasting peace in the state. Following the relative peace recorded in Jangebe town of Talata Mafara local government area, the state government has relaxed the dusk and dawn curfew imposed on the town and its environs to enable people carry out their normal legitimate businesses. However, the Jangebe market is to remain closed until when government is satisfied with the security situation in the area. People are therefore advised to remain law-abiding, as government will not condone any act of breaching the peace and tranquility being restored in the state by the present administration. A government statement explained that the Governor Bello Muhammad Matawalem Maradin has directed all security forces within and around the town to ensure compliance to this order and deal decisively with anyone found disrupting the peace and security in the area. A federal high court sitting in Katsina has ordered that Mahadi Shehu, a whistleblower, be kept under police custody pending when a written bail application will be heard on Friday. Also, another court sitting in Dusama has struck out an appeal for stay-up proceedings filed by Mahadi Shehu, who wanted the court to set aside an order of warrant of arrest issued against him by a Sharia court in Katsina. For more details on the story, over now to our Katsina correspondent, Suraj Lami Malampashi.
The presiding judge, Justice Hadiza Rabiu Shagari, gave the order on Monday when Mahdi was arraigned on a 6-count charge bordering on cybercrime against Katsina State Governor Aminu Bello Masari, and the members of his cabinet. After reading the charges to the defendant, to which he said he understands but decided to keep mute on the plea of guilty or not on the advice of his counsel, the prosecution counsel, Barrister Samuel Long, asked the court to remand the defendant in prison custody, but the judge said based on the physical condition of the defendant, she could not remand him in prison, but he should remain in police custody. The defense counsel, Barrister M.I. Abubakar, then indicated interest in a file on oral application for bail, but the judge refused. Earlier, the defense counsel filed a motion on notice challenging the jurisdictions of the court to entertain the case brought before it. He argues that the complainant, Inspector General of Police, has flagrantly disobeyed an Abuja Federal High Court ordering the release of Mahdi bail. Other grounds on which the defense party stood were the multiple charges could not be filed in different courts against the same accused based on the same fact, as well as fear of likelihood bias by the Katsina Federal High Court. However, the judge ruled that the court will go ahead with the proceedings, and since the matter was for arrangement, the court will not accept any objections before the arrangement. In another development, a Katsina High Court sitting in Dutsenma has struck out an appeal for stay of proceedings filed by Mahdi Shehu, who wanted the court to set aside an order of warrant of arrest issued against him by the Sharia court in Katsina. The court had earlier in February, while sitting at Malamfashi, adjourned the appeal to commence on the March 8 following request by the counsel to the respondent to adjourn the case following some typographical errors notices in the response he filed. Shehu's earlier refusal to appear before the court for the continuation of hearing in the defamation suit filed in by the Secretary to the Katsina State Government, Dr. Mustafa Mohammed Inuwa, against him for alleged insults and the defamation of character, had prompted the Sharia court order. From Katsina, Sirajo Dalami Malamfashi for SVTV News.
The Kano State government says it has concluded plans for the establishment of a drug abuse management bureau to enhance the rehabilitation of drug addicts in the state. Alhaji Rabi Usuli, the chairman State Task Force on Counterfeit and Fake Drugs, stated this in an interview with newsmen on Monday in Kano. The agency will be charged with responsibility of checking the menace of drug abuse, particularly the harmful effects by drug addicts, in addition to the enrollment of those eligible to be reformed. The government plans to also establish rehabilitation centers in addition to the existing reformatory center in Kiru. A Kano-born young lady, Saadat Aliyu, has developed an Android application, Help You App, for reporting cases of sexual abuse. Help You App was launched on August 6, 2020 on Play Store. Ms. Aliyu, who is the founder of Shamrock Innovations, Women and Youth-Centric Tech Innovation Hub in Kano, said that any person can visit Play Store on an Android phone and install the app. The founder told newsmen that interested person can go to the Play Store, search for it and install it, and after installation, one can sign up using email and password, either in Hausa or English language. So far, the initiative for support of victims of sexual abuse, orphans and less privileged, and equity destitute, child rights and welfare initiative have signed up in the platform. A pre-democracy, anti-corruption and justice sector civil society organization on the aegis of Global Initiative Crusade Network has called on the National Assembly to, as a matter of national importance, pass the Nigerian Peace Corps Bill pending before the two legislative chambers. President of Global Integrity Crusade Network, Mr. Edward Ejembi Umaga, who made the call, said that the passage of the bill has become necessary, particularly against the backdrop of insecurity in the country. Mr. Umaga noted that the high level of insecurity in the sub-regions of the country, characterized by kidnappings, wanton destruction of property, and killing of innocent citizens with reckless abandon, was due to lack of enough manpower on the part of security agencies. He said that upon its passage and subsequent assent by the President, the Nigerian Peace Corps will go a long way to complement the effort of other existing security agencies for better results. The Nigerian Army on Monday said that as a national institution, it does not deploy its troops along ethnic or religious lines. The Nigerian Army, which stated this while reacting to a video clip in which Sheikh Ahmed Gumi was heard saying that non-Muslim soldiers were responsible for the attacks against bandits. It said that the force remains the pride of the nation and has continually defended the territorial integrity of the nation. It therefore warned Sheikh Ahmed Gumi and other opinion merchants to exercise restraint in order not to drag the image and reputation of one of the most reliable national institutions to disrepute. Borno State Governor Professor Babagana Umar Zulum on Monday laid foundation for the construction of a new bus terminal that is designed to have 593 lock-up shops and market stalls, the combination of which is valued at 2 billion naira. The 49,000 square meters concrete embedded bus terminal, sited along Bama Road in Maiduguri, will comprise 373 lock-up shops and 220 market stalls, making 593 shops and stalls. Governor Zulum said at the flag off that the project is expected to be completed within 18 months and charged the contractors to work within stipulated time while maintaining high quality in executing their work. The governor also announced that the present Bama Road Motor Park will be relocated to the new terminal when completed, while a new mega school will be sited where the motor park is located after it is moved. The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency says it has uncovered a stash of cocaine and heroin in the palace of a traditional ruler in Anambra State. This was confirmed in a statement issued by National Drug Law Enforcement Agency Director on Media and Advocacy, Femi Babafemi, on Monday. The statement said its operatives at the Anambra Command recovered 58.5 grams of cocaine and 13.9 grams of heroin. Investigations are ongoing to unravel how the illicit drugs were hidden in the palace, and the palace security guards are helping in tracing the dealer behind the consignment. Following the discovery of alleged sleazes and financial malpractices running to over 210 million naira in the Federal Ministry of Education, the Nigerian Union of Journalists (FCT) chapter has taken the bold step to demand for the Minister of Education, Malam Adamu, to provide explanation to the questionable expenditures in his ministry that are at the variance with laid down public expenditures and accountability. The NUJ, in a letter addressed to the Minister of Education, said that its request is in line with the constitutional prerogative as contained in Chapter 22 of the Nigerian Constitution, 1999 as amended, and fundamentally the Freedom of Information Act 2011. The union explained that it is engaged in the development of good governance and accountability report based on available queries and petitions from key government institutions, stakeholders, and even individuals. Towards this end, the NUJ demanded the officers of the Minister of Education to provide to it with a detailed explanation and breakdown in the respect of the questionable payment, stressing that its request is in respect to extant rules and regulations on public procurement, tenders, and payments. On business, the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation and the Usman Danfodio University, Sokoto, have pledged to collaborate on the development of energy interconversion and storage as a catalyst for Nigeria's economic development and transformation. Group Managing Director of NNPC, Malam Mele Kyari, and the Vice Chancellor of the University, Professor Lawal Suleiman Bilbis, made the commitment during a visit by members of the University Council led by the university's Pro-Chancellor, Mr. Justice Pell Inejiri, retired. Malam Kyari, who welcomed the university management to the NNPC, challenged them to always champion the development and transformation of their local communities through research and innovation. On his part, the Vice-Chancellor, Professor Lawal Suleiman Bilbis, called on both parties to serve as catalysts for development so as to provide lasting solutions to the nation's energy problems. On international scene, Governor Aminu Waziri Tambol of Sokoto State has called for an immediate review of the Economic Community of West African States Protocol on Free Movement to check the influx of foreign headers into the country. Governor Tambol said that since Nigeria is having serious problem with the protocol, it calls for review, stressing that ECOWAS, particularly Nigeria, must find a way of stopping the movement. He also said that following the alarms being raised over the negative role foreign headers are playing in the insecurity challenges facing the nation, it is time to review the ECOWAS protocol to save Nigeria from disintegration. ECOWAS in 1979 adopted the protocol to aid free movement between West African countries in order to foster regional integration and development. On sports. Confederation of African Football has announced the last-minute cancellation of the prestigious youth tournament only 5 days before it was due to begin. The Under-17 Africa Cup of Nations have been cancelled by the Confederation of African Football only 5 days before the tournament was set to kick off, amidst ongoing concern about the coronavirus pandemic in host country Morocco and beyond. Nigeria, South Africa, Uganda, Tanzania, and Cameroon are among some of the sides set to miss out on the prestigious tournament for Africa's brightest young talent. At a Confederation of African Football Emergency Committee meeting in Rabat on Monday, it was decided to cancel the tournament despite the short notice rather than attempt to find an alternative venue or postpone the competition until later in the year. That has been the news from Standard Voice Television. To end the news, a quick look at the major headlines. Zamfara State Governor secures release of 10 kidnapped victims. Kano to set up Drug Abuse Management Bureau for Addict Rehabilitation. National Drug Law Enforcement Agency uncovers cocaine heroin inside Anambra Monarch's Palace. On business, NNPC to partner Usman Danfodio University on energy development. On international scene, Governor Aminu Waziri Tambol converses review of ECOWAS protocol on insecurity. On sports, last-minute cancellation of the prestigious youth tournament has hit some countries. That's the news. On behalf of the production crew, Head of News and Current Affairs Department, Ibrahim Garbatula, I am Samira Ibrahim. Thanks for watching.